Hello and welcome to Kings of the Premier League, the show where fan votes go head-to-head with our stats as we select the ultimate team of the month. To help us decide who makes our 11, we'll be using Sky Sports Power Rankings and your votes from the Budweiser Kings of the Match. You can get involved too. Tweet us at Sky Sports PL using the hashtag KOTPL. I'm pleased to say I've got some experts in to help pick the team. Firstly, former West Ham and Chelsea striker Carlton and Olympic gold medalist Sam Quek, MBE. Good to have you both on the show. How are you?
Good.
Good. Carlton, of course, you've hung your boots up now, but you're coaching at West Ham. How are you finding it?
Strenuous. It's a new challenge. No, it's a new challenge, you know. Obviously, I've just recently retired, so getting to know the other side of life is challenging, but I'm coping.
You're coping, enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. That's the main thing, right? Yeah, so it's a new challenge. I'm always up for adventures, and this is a new one for me.
And speaking of new challenges, of course, West Ham recently announcing David Moyes back as permanent head coach. What was your initial reaction when you heard that appointment?
Yeah, it was strange at the time. Obviously, he was with us before, and it just got to a point where we needed a change, and I think he was available at the right price, and he came along. So
simple as that.
Simple as that, yeah.
OK. Sam, of course, we know you, gold medalist, England Team GB, of course. We now know you as a presenter, and you seem to be presenting almost every sport going. NFL, football, hockey, rugby union as well, you do. Does football, is that the most enjoyment you get, working in football?
Yeah, listen, I'm a complete sports geek. I love any sport, so to be able to be involved in presenting that type of thing is brilliant. But again, to be involved in football, because that was my first love before hockey. I played football for Tranmere when I was younger, and Tranmere ladies, so for it to, you know, be sat here talking about teams and players, it's not too bad, is it?
I read that you had a difficult choice to make, actually, between turning pro in hockey and football. That's not a bad choice to make, is it?
Not bad. If I was 5 years younger, I wish I could go back to football, but I think I'm a bit too old now.
And, of course, you're a big Liverpool fan.
Yes.
I imagine you're going to say that there is no way Liverpool won't win the Premier League this season. It's nailed on, isn't it?
I can't explicitly say it because we were talking before, in this day and age with social media, internet, if for whatever reason, because it still is mathematically possible that Liverpool don't win the Premier League, I would never hear the end of it.
OK, but it's going well for
I can just imagine
Liverpool
it, even in my
so far.
funeral, people playing that tape.
Hopefully not.
When Liverpool slipped up.
Well, they are doing very well at the minute. Right, let's crack on with the show. And before we focus on December, here are the top-ranked players in the Premier League so far this season, according to Sky Sports Power Rankings. Now, if you want to understand more about how this is calculated, incidentally, you can go to skysports.com and search Power Rankings to read and explain. And basically, we give points for 35 different metrics per player, weighted according to their position. It's pretty complicated, but you only really need to know the totals. And the totals that you can see are very impressive for Kevin De Bruyne, 50,087 points. So statistically speaking, over the course of the whole season, Kevin De Bruyne stands out with Trent Alexander-Arnold narrowly behind in second place. Of course, we're picking our Kings of the Month, so we'll only be looking at the top performers over the punishing month of December. Importantly, every team has played 7 games over this month, with the exception of Liverpool and West Ham, who've only played 6. That is, of course, due to Liverpool's participation in the Club World Cup in Qatar, which, of course, Sam, you're delighted to know they won. Right, let's start with the keepers. Here are the top 6 in the power rankings on the left, and on the right, we have the players who've received the highest percentage of your fan votes as the Kings of the Match. So Vicente Guaita is top of the power ranking statistically with 11,837 points. And the fans think Nick Pope has been the standout keeper. A few other names in there, Alisson, Aaron Ramsdale, Ben Foster in both as well. So Carlton, who's been your standout goalkeeper for the month of December?
For me, I've gone with Ben Foster. Simple fact that I think if it wasn't for him, they'll be worse off. And he's had 3 clean sheets in a it's a hard situation. A hard situation for him to come into, and they're at the bottom of the league. But he's been their main stopper at this time and period of their I wouldn't say demise, but but I would say that it's hard when you're at the bottom, and he's been up there trying to keep them up.
Sam, do you agree with Carlton there with Ben Foster?
See, my choices were between Ben Foster and Guaita, and I gave Guaita the edge. I just think Palace, especially the last few months and pretty much the whole season actually, they're focusing on getting points and making games hard for teams because they are defensively sound. And I think Guaita's just key to that.
Okay.
I think had he not been on form, they could be down there in the
Could be down in the relegation
yeah,
zone.
relegation
Okay, so let's have a look at a comparison then, because it is a tough one, this one. Gaeta and Foster, the position that is splitting both of our guests. So save-wise, not a lot in this at all. Gaeta making slightly more saves than Foster, 25 to 23. Clean sheets exactly the same. Gaeta edges it in terms of the save percentage. Goals conceded, Gaeta has conceded less, but goals prevented, Foster 4.4, which is slightly better than 4.3. So it's very tough, this, Sam. But I think Gaeta's slightly edging it, to back your points up.
I think the defence in front of Gaeta has helped him. But with Ben, he hasn't really got that solid defence that Gaeta's got in front of him. So that's why I've gone Ben Foster.
OK, so we do need to get a goalkeeper now.
We do.
You're saying Gaeta, you're saying Foster. How are you going to come to...
Well, I'm going to do the gentleman thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You don't have to do that. If you think I'm
the only
wrong, by
reason?
all means.
do you know what I mean? I'm going to do the...
It's because he's mates with Ben.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, I do know Ben, you know what I mean? But I'm obviously going to go with Ben, but I don't mind, like, I don't think Ben will, like, he's going to have other chances, so I can pick him later.
OK, so Gaeta we're agreeing on as our goalkeeper for December.
I think so. I mean, I love a stat, but I think even more so stats are true for goalkeepers because it is just about shot stopping.
There we go then. Gaeta is our first player in our team of the month. So congratulations to him. Let's look ahead to the defensive areas as we start with our centre-backs. So once again, we've got the stats on the left-hand side according to Sky Sports Power Rankings and the fan vote on the right-hand side. James Tompkins dominating it statistically, but only just narrowly ahead of Virgil van Dijk, who is top of the fans' vote. Interestingly, Van Dijk is in both. Jan Vertonghen also in both. A few other names there, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. Any names for you that are nailed on in the centre-back position that you both agree on?
Well, I would go Virgil. Big Virgil's been outstanding. I think he's the rock of Liverpool's defence. Without him, there's no defence for them, really, I think.
I like what you've done there.
Yeah. But, yeah, Virgil's definitely in there for me. As a shoe-in.
Yeah, Sam, I imagine as a Liverpool fan you would go along with Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I just think he's brilliant. And it doesn't matter who he's been paired up with as well this season. I think Henderson played there at one point.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got Virgil by your side, he's gonna be your rock. But also, you forget his performance that week in, week out, and 9s, 10s. So people just expect that level from him now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, some of the stats actually, 6 Premier League appearances, 2 goals, 4 clean sheets, most successful passes per 90 in the Premier League by a defender, most aerials won, duels won, clearances and passes for Liverpool. He's helped Liverpool keep 34 clean sheets in the Premier League since his debut, so absolutely unbelievable, Virgil van Dijk. So he is one that I imagine you'd agree on, and I think most people at home would agree on. You need one other centre-back. Who'd you go for, Sam?
I had Tompkins.
Tompkins,
okay. Yeah. Again, him and Gaeta, just to kind of back up my last point that I made with Crystal Palace and how solid they've been at the back and making their game about being defensively solid. I think he's just been brilliant. He's one of them players who you don't really notice until you actually look at his performances and his numbers. Just gets his head down, doesn't he? Doesn't make it flashy, he just gets the job done.
He's gone into that team there and he's been one of the main guys, made himself the main guy because they had some good defenders, but he's just shoehorned himself in and just made sure that he's taken the place as being the go-to guy for the defence.
You said you knew him well, teammate of yours, of course. What was he like to play with and train against?
Oh, he's a nightmare because he's when you're training with him and you're against him, he's just all or nothing. There's no like in between of him, and he's injured me a couple of times. You know what I mean?
And you're still picking him in the team?
Yeah, of course. Like he's my little pal. You know what I mean? And I've just loved to see his growth. He came in at West Ham when he was really young, fairly young, and then I was already in the team. And then he came in and made a massive difference, and I always knew that he was going to go on to big things. OK,
Virgil van Dijk and Tompkins make it as our centre-back. Let's have a look at the full-back position. Of course, we need to pick 2 full-backs from this lot, and once again, we have the Sky Sports Power Ranking on the left-hand side and the Kings of the Match fan vote on the right-hand side. Once again on this show, Trent Alexander-Arnold dominating statistics, 15,984 points. What a season he is having. Martin Kelly, another Crystal Palace player, we've spoken a lot about Crystal Palace already, dominating the fans' votes. Serge Aurier's in there, Trent is in both, of course. So first up, we've got to agree on one of them. Is Trent someone that you agree on for the right-back position?
Definitely, he's a really, really good player. Going forward, that is. A bit sceptical about him going backwards, like defending-wise, but I think like he's starting to answer those questions, the doubts that everybody had about him. Obviously, they've always got the ball, Liverpool, so he's not really always really getting tested. But it's showing people that he can actually defend as well now. So for me, he's already in, and he had a great month last month as well.
There's always a debate who should start at right back for England, and without question, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Easy one for you. Because it is a position that England are quite blessed in, have a lot of talent in that position.
I mean, you've got a number of players, but even when you looked at the season total so far, the majority of people up there, De Bruyne, Mane, all these players, the majority are forwards and midfielders, and Trent's one of few defenders in the top 10.
OK, so you agree on Trent. We need a left back. Who'd you go for, Carlton?
I've gone with Aaron Creswell.
Aaron Creswell?
Yeah.
Is that because he's a mate of yours as well? A few of your mates?
Well, you know what I mean? You've got to look after your own. But for me, like, he's done well. He came into the team, I think it was the season, not the season before, the month before last.
Yes.
And there was a lot of pressure on him because I think Pablo had to come out of the team, Pablo Zabaleta, and he had to come in, and he hadn't been playing for a little bit. And he came in and just done really, really well, and scored a couple of goals, made a couple of assists, and got the team galvanised again, going in the right direction. So for me, I shoehorned him in.
Yeah, scored a big goal against Chelsea, of course, in that win for West Ham. Sam, who'd you go for at left back?
Again, people might roll their eyes. I've gone for Andy Robertson because when I looked at the power rankings, the majority of the defenders are all right-sided players, and I didn't want to be putting a right-sided player on the left. Cresswell I looked at, however I can't look past the fact that West Ham have conceded about 16, 17 goals in the month of December.
But we need to agree, so this is an area you've agreed on. The other three positions, how do you go about picking this left back?
It's up to you, really, but I've got to go with my man.
You're not backing down on Cresswell?
I've got to go with Cresswell.
Sam? Go Cresswell.
You're happy to do Cresswell.
Yes.
So
there you go.
I
can see the passion.
You had the goalkeeper, Carlton gets the left back, so it's a fair way. There we go, Cresswell is confirmed. We can have a reminder of our team of the month so far. We got there in the end. Here it is. So Guaita is in goal. But then we've got Tompkins and Van Dijk in the centre-back positions. And our full-backs are Trent Alexander-Arnold. And we went for Aaron Creswell of West Ham United. So that is our team of the month so far. Time for a very quick break, but do not go anywhere because after the break we will turn our attention to the midfield and forward areas. See you in a bit. Hello, welcome back to Kings of the Premier League. Joining me on the show, Carlton Cole and Sam Quek. All right, let's have a reminder of our team of the month for the month of December so far. Our goalkeeper, we went with Guaita in the end, just ahead of Ben Foster. And our back four that consisted of Tompkins and Van Dijk in the centre-back positions and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Aaron Creswell in the full-back positions. So it is time now to pick our midfielders. You've got three midfielders to pick. I don't think this is going to be particularly easy because a lot of good performing midfielders in the month of December. Let's have a look at who is leading the way. Unsurprisingly, Kevin De Bruyne top of both. 21,616 points. That is the Sky Sports Power Rankings on the left. And on the right-hand side, which is, of course, the fans' vote, top of that with 46.3%. Another fantastic month for Kevin De Bruyne. Dele Alli also in both of those lists, as well as Jack Grealish. So I presume, I'm not going to try and convince either of you, but is Kevin De Bruyne in both of your teams?
He's got to be, hasn't he?
Yeah.
World class.
World class.
World class. He does everything well. He's a complete midfielder. Tackles well, passes, shoots, assists.
Yeah, I mean, 7 Premier League appearances, 4 goals and 3 assists, which is the most goal involvement, incidentally, of any player in the Premier League in that month. Most shots from outside the box, joint most shots in the Premier League, second most shots created in the Premier League, and most assists in the Premier League this season. I mean, got to be in the team, Carlton.
Listen, I can't even argue with him. He's just a consistent performer. Everything he does. Without him in that team, definitely, they wouldn't be creating as half the chances they do. So he's, they're not performing to the best of their levels that we know Man City can, but with him in any team, you're going to get goals.
Todd Cantwell, I think he's been brilliant for Norwich. I think at the beginning of the season, everyone was looking at Pukki, how brilliant he was, putting the goals away. But as he's kind of whittled away as such, I think Cantwell's just pulling the strings at Norwich. Obviously, because they are down at the bottom of the table, a lot of people may not kind of noticed, but he was up there in the fans' vote this month.
Another player that was in there was Dele Alli, of course. Now, we want to show you this because this is very interesting. It just shows how his form has improved under Jose Mourinho. So the grey line on that graph is when Jose Mourinho was appointed, and the red line shows the power rankings points throughout the season. Worth pointing out at the very start of the season, he didn't play all games because he was injured, which is why the red line is on Norse at the start. But as you can see, since Jose Mourinho's appointment, he has just gone from strength to strength. 7 Premier League appearances for Dele Carlton, 4 goals and 2 assists. Joint most goals in the Premier League by a midfielder, along with Kevin De Bruyne. Covered a lot of distance as well. Only 3 players ran more than him. Been a very good month for Dele Alli.
Yeah, that's why I picked him. Dele pips it for me because the effect that obviously Mourinho's come in and he's just given him a boost. Sometimes that does happen when the new manager effect, as we just saw. But for me, he's done his job and he's still performing to the best of his ability, whilst even in a poor performing Tottenham team. Yeah,
Billy Wingrove incidentally was on this show last month and tried to put Dele in his team. Didn't quite make the team. We had Jamie Redknapp and Jeremy from the F2 alongside him, and he said, "I think I'm a month too early. Mark my words, Dele Alli will be in the team of the month next month." So we'll wait and see, Billy. Sam, is Dele making the team of the month?
He didn't make my 3 in midfield. I had Jack Grealish, Cantwell and De Bruyne.
OK, so you've got De Bruyne. Yeah. Who's the other one that you agree on then if you need 2 other positions?
It's Grealish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Grealish.
So Grealish is in for you?
So Grealish has done really well for me. I think he's carried that Aston Villa midfield. So I think he was a no-brainer, and it's time that he gets into a team of the month for anybody, really, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Grealish, 3 goals and 1 assist. Interesting as well, most Premier League goal involvement by an English midfielder this season, Jack Grealish. So you're agreeing on Jack Grealish,
yep.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Where's his England call-up?
Could he make Euro 2020 for you, Jack Grealish?
If he carries on performing like this, yeah. But I think with Jack, you always got to really understand that he needs a team built around him because he's that good. But you need that team. For him to be fully effective, the team's got to be built around him. So that's why I think it's been a bit of a problem for Southgate to put him in just yet. Let him mature a little bit. He's doing well until he's ready to carry a whole team at that level. Then that's when you'll start seeing fireworks. Got
to push you for the 3. We've got Kevin De Bruyne, got Jack Grealish. The 3rd player, Cantwell or Dele Alli. I believe you're debating who you're going with.
You want Dele, don't you?
I want Dele, obviously, but Cantwell for me, really good player. I love his dancing. But for me,
Dele's got moves.
They've both got moves, yeah.
Yeah, Dele's got the floss.
He has got the floss, yeah.
And that little wave he does. So I'm going with Dele.
Because he's got the waves, so we're going with Dele. There is confirmation. I wasn't going to ask Carlton to do the dances.
I would have if you'd asked me.
You would have asked, would you? OK. Maybe we'll see that after the show. So here's confirmation of our team of the month so far. Gaeta in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Tompkins, Van Dijk and Creswell make up the back 4. And the midfield 3, look at that midfield 3, Dele Alli, Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, which means there are just 3 players left to pick, 3 forward players. Let's get straight into it and look at the top performing forwards for the month of December. Adama Traore, we've seen him used in a lot of different positions for Wolverhampton Wanderers this season, most notably in December as a forward. He is top of the power rankings with Danny Ings just behind him, Jamie Vardy dominating the fans' votes. So 3 forwards, Sam. First one, who'd you go for?
First one, Danny Ings. I mean, he's having an incredible season, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think last season, I backed him in my fantasy. After he left Liverpool, I thought he's going to kick on. Obviously, he had a few injury struggles and things like that. But this season, I think he's just what Southampton are about, what they need. He's not doing flashy stuff, but he also can score the difficult goal. And to be honest, I think that's why Southampton are doing so well, because he's putting the ball in the net. Yeah,
we can have a look at just how well Danny Ings has been actually this month. So this looks at all of his shots on target for the month of December. What this shows is a star is a goal. Now, a gold star is perceived to be a goal from a difficult position, or a difficult goal, if you like. The red star are other goals. The yellow are shots on target, and grey are shots off target or shots that have been blocked. So, of his 7 Premier League appearances, he scored 6 goals, which is the top scorer in the Premier League for this period. But have a listen to this, Carlton. As a former striker yourself, you'll be very impressed with this. 6 Premier League goals from 9 shots on target in the Premier League this month. That is not bad, is it?
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Something I'll be proud of. Because I never used to get that many shots, so I had to make my shots count. You know what I mean? So
I like your honesty.
Blame the people who are assisting you.
It's the midfielder's fault.
yeah, but to be fair, I went in the box enough.
So you both agree with Danny Ings, a second top scorer in the Premier League this season as well. So fantastic season so far for Danny Ings. Two other players that you have to agree on.
Okay.
Carlton, go on. What other names did you like the look of this month?
Well, I went with Adama Traore. I felt he's been really doing well in that Wolves team. I think like it just gives them another dimension going down that right side, and the pace and power of him is unbelievable.
He scored some big goals as well, didn't he? Scored against Tottenham, scored against Man City. He's starting to prove to be a big game player.
I think the goal against Tottenham was a consolation goal, wasn't it? I think they lost.
They ended up losing the game 2-1.
But he was very instrumental in both games, and he's been carrying that forward line as well. I know Jimenez has been doing well, but he's been up there with him.
So Adama Traore, Sam?
Calvert-Lewin I went for.
Calvert-Lewin, OK.
Yeah. I think since they've changed bosses, he's really come to light. I think, I don't know what's the start with the goals? Is it 7 games, 5 goals?
Exactly that, yeah. 5 goals in 7 Premier League games. He scored 2 braces in that period as well against Chelsea and Newcastle.
Yeah, I think it's
so
nice.
He's done well.
Yeah, I think I saw an interview with him before the Liverpool game, and the way he was talking, you could see he was full of confidence. I think with Ancelotti coming in, he's almost put an arm around him and said to him, I believe in you, by giving him the pitch time, and that's clearly shown in the goals that he's scoring.
Another player that we've spoken about many times on this show and who's had another good month is Jamie Vardy. So we can have a look at a bit of a comparison between the two of Jamie Vardy and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. This is a head-to-head for this month, both with 5 goals. Calvert-Lewin with slightly more shots on target. No assists for either, but 6 chances created for Calvert-Lewin and 4 chances created for Jamie Vardy. So another striker in form. Again, you've got to agree. Jamie Vardy, is he in the running for you, for your team, Carlton?
Yeah, Jamie's in there for me. He's just such a massive player for Leicester. Can't deny he's got to be a shoehorn in there because the effect that he has on every game he plays is vital. But I was obviously stuck between Adama Traore and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm going to go with you.
Oh, Sam's persuaded you with Calvert-Lewin.
So I'll tell you why. Because because for me, Calvert-Lewin's hit a nice purple patch, you know what I mean? And when I hit that purple patch, I didn't get into no team of the month. So I'm going to transfer that vibe to Calvert-Lewin. I'm going to make sure that he gets in. So
you're going to transfer that vibe?
Just going to reward him with what he's done this month.
Reward him with what he's done this month. So Calvert-Lewin is in alongside Danny Ings. One other striker. You had Adama Traore that you mentioned. Jamie Vardy was mentioned as well. Who'd you go for, Sam, the other position?
Traore's teammate, Jimenez.
Oh, OK. So we've got a few to pick for the last spot.
I mean, again, I think with Jimenez, yes, he scores goals, but I think his majority of his play is working hard to create goals, to assist. I think he's slotting nicely there.
Yeah, you're dead right, actually.
Calvert-Lewin,
in the 7 Premier League appearances,
just sit behind them, you know.
You are right, 2 goals and 4 assists for Jimenez this month. We need another striker. Are you persuaded by Jimenez or you're persuaded by Calvert-Lewin? You're not persuaded?
Me, I've got to go Vardy, Calvert-Lewin, and Ings for me.
3 out-and-out strikers.
Just go and get
Who's
goals.
going to just sit there?
So it's between Vardy and Jimenez for the last spot. Sam,
well,
can you be persuaded?
Because I persuaded you to take. That's for another show.
The team's not actually playing, yeah.
Yeah, because I persuaded you to take Calvert-Lewin. I'll get rid of Jimenez.
OK, there we go. 5 goals in 6 Premier League appearances in the month of December for Jamie Vardy. So he makes our team of the month for December. So we can have confirmation of our team of the month. Here it is. Gaeta is in the goal. We've got Tompkins and Van Dijk in the central-back positions and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Aaron Creswell as fullbacks. A midfield 3 of Dele Alli, Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish. And we finally got there with the forwards. Jamie Vardy, Danny Ings and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So both Wolves players, you both wanted a Wolves player in Raul Jimenez and Traore, but they both miss out. So Wolves fans will be a little bit upset with that. But both had good months and good seasons, of course. It's now time for you to pick your player of the month. From those, who'd you go for?
You go first, go on.
King of the month.
Traore.
I'll go for Jimenez.
I'm joking.
Just to keep the Wolves fans happy. Yeah, it does have to be a player that's in that team, Carlton, just to let you know.
Okay, Player of the month, for me, Danny Ings. He's done really well. As you said, everything he touches turns to gold. Even some of the hard chances he's putting away. And he's gone from strength to strength, and he's going to be the one that's carrying that team.
Danny Ings is...
Completely agree. Danny Ings this month, I mean, you can't... He stole every headline, really. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? His name's popping up everywhere, and it's because he is scoring them goals, and I think it's the reason why Southampton are doing so well.
There we go. So Danny Ings is our King of the Month for the month of December. Congratulations to him. There we go. Confirmation that Danny Ings gets it. Enjoyed that. Did you enjoy it, Carlton? Sam, what was the toughest decision for you to make of those?
It was tough, but we agreed in the end.
Mine was a left back. I'm still not over it.
You're still not over it. This management duo here, if you got into coaching together, do you think that could work out?
It might work out, yeah, definitely.
OK, that is all we've got time for. Big thanks to Carlton. Big thanks to Sam. Have a great weekend. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Sky Sports Premier League. Feel it all.